To Groovin Susan.
Okay, Groovin Susan. So I've just realized that you have withheld a very important piece of knowledge about the Nick the Fruit Man story, which came out months ago, like almost a year ago at this point. So I'll put a link in the description of the video so you guys can watch it and refresh your memory. And yeah, so Groovin Susan actually didn't include a really important part of the story. So why don't you just give me a very brief summary of the story. This is take 3. The other 2 times she went on rambling about Nick the Fruit Man, and we had to restart the video. Okay, so a brief summary, Groovin Susan.
My mother brought extra vegetables to the fruit man because he drove around in a little tattered truck, so she felt sorry for him. So we ended up going to their house for that wonderful Italian meal that he said what his wife made that was so great. We went, and the meal was delicious. It was a big house. Remember, we lived in a little funky old apartment upstairs. Big house, very expensive house, butler, and there is no way he could have made that kind of money.
Okay. So basically, that's the extra part. So basically, the point of the story that she's trying to convey here is that...
What? I am conveying it, not trying. I am.
Okay, so the point of the story is when she was a kid, there was this guy named Nick the Fruit Man who sold fruits and vegetables in a truck. They thought that he was really poor, so they felt sorry for him, bought extra fruit.
So my mother used to buy extra fruit and vegetables.
So then they went to his house and it was like huge, so they realized he was rich.
He was his wife.
So,
we lived on one side of the town, they lived on the other. We had no idea what their neighborhood was like. As we kept driving there, we realized they lived in a big, fancy neighborhood.
Yes, they were very rich.
Yes.
So I guess the moral of the story, it was really a nothing story without this piece of information, which is why we find it so amazing.
It was not a nothing story.
Well, you didn't talk about the other part. So the reason that they thought he was rich
young, I didn't want to discuss
it was like 6 months ago.
You were young.
So the reason that she and her family thought Nick the Fruit Man was so rich was because...
he was part of the mafia. The mafia was huge in Youngstown, Ohio at that time, and that's where I grew up. So, I think he was a part of it. There's no way he made all that money in that tattered fruit and vegetable truck.
I mean,
okay, so we only have 15 more seconds for this future short. But anyways, so a couple of days after the video released, I asked her, like, why didn't you talk about the mafia part? And she told me it was because she was scared the Youngstown Mafia from the 1950s would find this video and kill us. So... that's the story.
I could describe. Groovin Susan out again.